Hey guys, the footage you're about to see is done by a professional. I've been doing this for over 25 years. This footage is for entertainment value only. Please do not try this at home.
So you want to shoot fast, huh? I'm finally waking up today. A lot of people ask me, well, how do I get to the next level? Well, you get to the next level by being the first one on the range and the last one to leave.
Hi, I'm Jerry Miculek and welcome to this episode of Shoot Fast. What we have today is the IWI TAVOR SAR semi-automatic rifle, bullpup rifle. With the way I have mine set up, I put a Vortex strike fire. This is a green dot, red dot scope, so you can run it with the green or red. It's been a pretty good optic for this platform. I originally was going to put a 1x6 scope on it, but after reviewing it and kind of looking at the concept, the red dot is pretty much a natural for this platform, so I just went ahead with the Vortex. I put my muzzle brake on the end of it. It's a 16.5-inch barrel. So this muzzle brake, when you put it on a short barrel like this, is very effective. So I'm pretty excited to see how this is going to work. The strike fire and the muzzle brake should make it very shootable. Also, just kind of give you an idea of the platform itself. Got an empty chamber. As in most things that come out of Israel, it's well tested, it's well designed. This has been in prototype since 1991 all the way up to 2001. There's some 18 countries now that actually issue this in one form or the other to their soldiers. So it's a pretty proven platform already. It's compact. One of the things you see about it, with the compensator it might be a little bit longer, but it's about 26.5 inches, weighs a little bit under 8 pounds without an optics. Magazine release, it's all set up for very fast handling. Give you an idea of how it's assembled and how to disassemble it. Nothing in the chamber. I'm going to go ahead and drop the bolt. Push pin in the back here. Open up the buttstock like so, and you notice the bolt assembly comes right out in your hand. Pretty easy. Take the bolt assembly out. Also the trigger group disassembles the same way. 2 push pins here. I might need a better pin than this. Let's see if we can get them to come out with this chamber flag. Yeah, there they go. As in most service platforms, and there you have the trigger group. So if you're in the field, it's very easy to service, and that's a very important feature to have on a platform like this, is to be able to get to it and work on it instantly. So they've done their homework there. It's very easy to maintain. As you can see, big pieces. They seem to be very robust in manufacture, so should hold up to a lot of field use very well. I would think it's extremely well tested if it comes from Israel. So pretty easy to go back together. We're just going to reverse it here. Drop the trigger group back in. Go ahead and pull the buttstock open, drop the bolt group back in. There it is, guys. And it's ready to go. Safety right above the grip here. Bolt release is built into the back of the platform. Give you an idea how that works. When you put a magazine in, all you have to do is push up here on the back of the bolt, and it's ready to go. So if you practice your reloads a little bit, here's your mag release. It's ambidextrous because it's right in the middle, guys. Can't go wrong. Either lefty or righty there can do it. And the way the system is set up, you can actually make this into a left-handed model with the right pieces and parts. So you can go left or right-handed. It's got a Picatinny rail full length of the receiver. It has a Picatinny section here on the side for accessories. Also underneath is a section there if you wanted to put a laser or a grip or whatever you deem necessary. So there's a lot of attachment points. Overall, it looks like a well-engineered firearm, and we're just ready to go out and play. Okay, I'll give you an idea of what comes with the rifle itself. We've got the basic platform of the bullpup here. Got an owner's manual, got the traditional gun lock. You have a parts disassembly kit, cleaning kit. You've got a magazine, polymer plastic magazine. It's pretty unique. It has a counting window, and it also has a fully loaded indicator on the bottom. It has a little white protrusion there. You put 30 rounds in it. You notice that it pokes out the bottom. It's pretty neat. So that's 30 rounds of ball here. I'm gonna get this out of the way. I don't want it mixed with up here with the firearm at the same time. So you got a pretty detailed owner's manual. Let's take a look at the cleaning kit, parts kit, see what we have here. We have the standard GI looking steel cleaning tool, segmented rod, 4 pieces, jag, brush, chamber brush, a little whatever you need brush, oil bottle, and a pretty good size cleaning brush for inside the receiver there. So that's pretty trick. You got 2 sling swivels, quick disconnect sling swivels, and this takedown tool. I think this is what you use to take the barrel in and out of the plastic stock. So this looks to be a very detailed piece of equipment. So you got all the kit that you need, and if you find yourself bored, you can always take your gun down even if you don't need to, just to have fun. Anyway, pretty detailed kit. We'll put it all back together and give you an idea of what comes with the rifle. I've got a Smith & Wesson M&P 15 here. This is a standard M4, basically 16.5-inch barrel with the collapsible stock. Try to give you an idea of a comparison in between the 2 platforms and what the differences are. You can notice real quick here when you put them side by side, even though this is a 16-inch barrel, it's considerably bit shorter in its overall package, and that's the whole idea behind a bullpup. You've got the advantages of a 16.5-inch barrel, but it's pushed back and the receiver basically sits on your shoulder. The disadvantages of it, of course, when you're shooting longer ranges and stuff, you have less opportunity to mount it on support and what have you. So, but anyway, this is a 16.5-inch, basically an M4 Smith & Wesson M&P 15, and this is the Tavor. So, another thing you want to pay attention to is the differences between the center line of the sight and the center line of the barrel compared to the standard AR platform. If you look at them, you notice this sight sits considerably bit higher off the barrel, so your holdover at closer ranges are going to be greater. So if you're trying to make a precision shot close, it's going to be a considerable amount of effort. So let's just take a look at that, give you an idea of what we're looking at. Center line of the scope to the center line of the handguard. This is pretty much a typical cold witness scope mount. So that's about a 2.8 inches. And we'll look at the Tavor with the standard scope mount on it. So we're almost about an 1.25 inch difference. There's an 1.25 inch difference between the center line of the optics actually to the center line of the bore. So if you're shooting an object real close, your holdover is going to have to be considerably bit higher to get a point of aim, point of impact. So that's something you want to remember. And that's a good feature to reduce recoil, straight line stock. The disadvantage is, of course, when you mount your optic, that bore is at a greater distance from the optic. So some of the benefits and some of the actual reality of the product there. So, like I had mentioned earlier, I have a compensator on it. It came with the standard bird cage, very similar to this Smith & Wesson product. I put the Jerry Miculek compensator on it, available at Miculek.com. Really reduces recoil. You have to try one of these to actually appreciate what it does for the system here. So there you have it, Smith & Wesson M4 versus the Tavor bullpup. Okay guys, the Tavor that I received is chambered in the standard 5.56 or 223 caliber, 16.5-inch barrel. It's also available in 5.45 by 39, which is the Soviet caliber, and it's also available in 9 by 19, which is pretty much the standard subgun handgun cartridge, probably the most widely used pistol cartridge in the world. So that gives you some idea of what that platform can be changed into. So give you some idea of some of the ammunition we're going to be using on the range today. I've got some frangible. This is a 45 grain. You notice the projectile itself is a copper and plastic cindered projectile, and this is made by Ingo Ballistics out of Smithville, Texas. I've used this projectile before. What I like about it, there's no jacket material on this projectile at all, so when you hit steel, it has a tendency to break into a lot of fine pieces. The possibility of a bounce back or a piece of jacket coming back is just won't happen. So it's a very good design frangible projectile. So you'll see that shot on steel today. Also I have some Hornady. This is some factory ammunition. It's a 40 grain VMAX. It's made for shooting varmints. It's the lightest weight 223 caliber 5.56 round they make. I think it goes 3,800 feet a second at least. So high velocity, very fragile projectile. It has the polymer tip on it, so very aerodynamic, very fragile. It should dump its energy instantly into the target. So that's the ammunition we're going to be using. Give you an idea of the magazine that comes with the IWI. They send this polymer plastic injection molded 30 round magazine with it. It has a window on it, quick takedown floor plate of course. So it looks pretty rugged. Can't say I've ever used one before, so we're going to give that a try. We also have the new Magpul 40 round AR-15, M4, M16 223 5.56 magazine. So it looks pretty exciting here. It's got a plastic follower. If it comes from Magpul, you know it has to be good. And by the way, Magpul does support the Three Gun Nation series though, so they're a great supporter of the sports, and I appreciate their sponsorship and all the three gun matches. So Magpul, you got a plus from me. So thank you very much for your support. So that's what comes with the rifle, and here's the standard GI 30 round aluminum, and of course another 30 round Magpul product there. So this is a Smith & Wesson M&P magazine. So give you some idea what we're going to be using on the range, and let's head that way. From my understanding, IWI is going to have these different caliber conversions available shortly. 5.45 by 39 and also 9 by 19. So that's something to look for in the future. We're going to head out to the range. I've got my trusty timer. In competition, this is of course what we live and die by. So it's going to measure by hundredths of a second what everything we do on the range. So we can't lie. Of course, I'm looking at it, so I can tell you what I want. But anyway, this is our start and our timing device. So we're going to head out to the range, take our trusty timer and the new IWI, and see if we can make it sing. Finally made it out to the range. I've got my IWI TAVOR SAR-223 bullpup. First time on the range to shoot it. I sighted it in at 50 yards. We're going to do some rapid fire as usual. So I kind of grade everything on how fast I can shoot it. So let's go ahead and top it off. Got some 55 ball here. We'll shoot that target in the middle 6 times from the low ready and get an idea what it sounds like and what it feels like to shoot this thing. Here we go. All right. Let's see where we are here. We were running about a, that's the first rounds out of it there, guys. So totally different trigger feel here than what I'm accustomed to. We had a 20, a 17, a 16, and a 14. First shot 97. Last shot a 181. So somewhere in the 8s. Let's go ahead and do that again. I'm gonna move my finger a little bit on the trigger here and find a sweet spot. Let's play it again. Target in the middle. Okay. Let's go back and take a look. 18, 16, 16. Those were a little bit better. Had an 18, a 16, a 15, a 15, and then a 14. So we're averaging around 15, right around between 15 and a half, 16 hundredths of a second per shot. Not bad for the first drive. What I'm noticing real quick is there's not too much recoil here. It seems to be a little bit loud. Of course, that muzzle is pretty close to your face, and I put one of my compensators on it. I had to cheat as much as I can. It's real easy to keep them in the center of the target. Let's do that again. All right, same drill. Target in the middle. 6 in the middle. Oh, we're getting a little bit faster every time there. That last shot was a 1200 split, so give you an idea, 16, 14, 16, and the last one was a 12. So it wouldn't take too long to get accustomed to where this trigger needs to run. What I'm really surprised at is with that compensator on it, there's hardly any recoil whatsoever though. Really fast cycling, pretty flat. Let's go to a multiple target scenario. As you can see, my first rapid fire group, I was really holding it too tight and I was working the gun way more than what it needed. So I just kind of relaxed on it and used my left hand a little bit better. And the groups got right in the middle. I tried to overpower it. It shoots pretty easy. This compensator being this close to the chamber on a 16-inch barrel works really good. So got an outstanding compensator, straight line stock. Really easy to keep it in the middle. We're shooting about 10 yards. So we're going to tape this up and do some multiple target shooting. Okay guys, we just got through burning up one target with 6 rounds. So let's take that same rate of fire and try to carry it over on 3 targets. We're going to start on the left. On the timer, I'm going to come up and shoot 2 shots on the left target, 2 in the middle, and 2 on the right, and see if we can keep the splits running about 15, 16 hundredths of a second. So let's go ahead and do that and see what it sounds like. Start on the left, go to the right. Here we go. Outstanding. That was pretty good. All right. 16, 17, 16, 16. They're all 16s right across the board. Let's try that one more time. Then we'll go take a look at what we're doing. One more time. Here we go. Oh, I'm getting the hang of it. Let's go a little bit faster. Here we go. Now we're getting the feel of the trigger there. We had a couple of, had a 13 in there, 15s. So that was running a little bit under 16 hundredths of a second per shot, per transition. So let's go down range and see what we did. One thing that's apparent really quick when I'm shooting this particular platform is it wants to pivot really quick because it's short and it's close to your body. You can see I'm over-indexing. That's because it wants to move a lot quicker than what I'm accustomed to. So we're going to go ahead and paste them up, and we're going to pay attention again to the actual design features and try to use that to our advantage. So first time on the range with it, that's the first shots, rapid fire on target acquisition skills. So we're going to tape them up and we're going to make it a whole lot better. One thing I'm noticing as a shooter right now, first time on the range with it, is how fast it wants to move from target to target. I can see that being an advantage on close range stuff. All I have to do is start to think about it, and this thing is already moving. So it looked like it really wants the transitions quick. So we're going to go ahead and put it back in the hunt. I'm going to pay attention to that feature and see if we can clean this up, keep the same 1600 splits, but keep them in the center of the target. Here we go. It's a little bit to the right again. This thing really wants to move. I'm going to have to think about not moving it more than I do moving it. So let's do it one more time. That was a little bit better. Let's go down and take a look at those. You can see on the first run we had one in the Alpha, and there again it wanted to start moving before I was ready. I had one in a Charlie here, and the same thing over here. I over-indexed. This thing is being so short like it is and close to your body, it doesn't take much motion to get it in motion, and I kind of overran the target. And the same thing over here, I came into it a little bit too hot, and I went past the A box. So in the second run, what I really had to think about, and it was probably a little bit faster run, was not trying to work the gun as much. And I had 2 Alpha Charlie in line, and I had 2 Alpha, and I came back on the last one at 2 Alpha. So this thing is very fast up close. I can see that possibly being a problem at distance, but up close like this, bullpup, that's what it's designed for, close quarters. It's extremely fast to move in and out of targets, so pretty neat, pretty neat. One of the features of this bullpup design is the bolt release. There's a button in the rear of the receiver here. So when you push it forward, it lets the bolt release, chambers around. So actually all you need to do when you come in with your fresh mag is to keep your thumb extended, and then when you insert the magazine, the bolt goes forward. So it's pretty simple. I haven't practiced this, so I'm going to try to just do your reload. Shoot 3 on target to bolt lock, come in with the fresh mag, and see what it looks like. Here we go. There it is, 3 and 3. Hey guys, the next drill we're going to do is the V drill. You might have seen us do this with the AR platforms and the FN. Give you an idea what the drill itself is. I'm going to be back at about 8 yards. On the clock, I'm going to come into the first target, shoot it twice. Go to the right target, shoot it twice. Come back to the middle, shoot it twice. Go to the left, shoot it twice. Come back to the middle, shoot it twice. Go far right, twice the distance, shoot it twice. Come back to the middle, shoot it twice. Go far left and shoot twice, and then come back to the middle and shoot twice. So when I'm finished this drill, it's 5 targets. It's going to be 18 rounds. It's like you're shooting 9 targets. You have to be very much on your game here. Keep your vision open, keep the trigger in cycle. And this bullpup ought to prove pretty interesting. I'm pretty stoked about trying this. So let's step back to about 8 yards and give it a shot. All right guys, I got my 5 paper targets downrange. Got the V drill set up. I have my TAVOR bullpup just waiting to play. Got some 55 grain ball ammo. Let's see if we can make it all connect. 18 rounds, here we go. I'm liking that one. All right, let's clear it out. Let's see what we did. All right guys, let's go downrange, take a look at what we're doing here. When you finish this drill, you should have 10 on the center target. Let's see what we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 2 on the right, a little bit low. Got 2 on the far right. Got 10 in the middle. Got 2 on this guy. And we got 2 on this guy. So, first shot was a 57, total was a 388. So the total time was from first to last shot a 331 to fire 18 rounds on 5 targets. So actually, that's pretty good. So there it is guys, the TAVOR rapid fire target to target. Got my trusty bullpup. I've got a new Magpul 40 round magazine. They were kind enough to give us this the other day at the 3 Gun Nation shoot. So nothing like testing it in the field. So we're going to take it, put it in the TAVOR and run 40 rounds on target and see if the magazine works. See if I can do 40 rounds. I don't know if I can shoot that long without passing out. So here we go. 40 on 1. Yeah! Get some! Yeah! That was fun, guys. That was fun. All right. All right, my child moment is over. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at it. What a waste of good ammo. Woo! Almost ran out of wind halfway in there. I'm usually a 6-shot wonder. All right, first shot, 87. All right, 87 on the first one. And let's go to 40. 735. 87 from 735 would be
6.48.
648, 648, 40 rounds, one target. All right. Kind of fun, kind of fun. Let's take a look at it. Okay guys, that was a couple of firsts. We kind of rigged a camera here on the front with some tape. And first time out on this 40 round Magpul, so it ran 100%. So we were able to put 40 targets on one target, 40 shots on one target in a 6.48 hundredths of a second from the first to the last shot. So we averaged about 16 hundredths at about 8 yards. That compensator on this rifle works really trick, guys. So stock trigger, there it is, 6.48 hundredths of a second, 40 rounds on target. La. We're going to do a V-drill on steel. Paper is fun, but steel gives you a lot of feedback instantly. So I've got some steel C-zones here. These are armor plate. Let's go take a look at them right quick. I'll give you an idea of what we're doing. These are made by MGM. They're called a C-zone target. So if you look at a USPSA target, this is just the C-zone and the A-zone. They're a little bit smaller, of course, because it's just a C-zone. They build them on an angle. So when you shoot them with a high-powered rifle or carbine like this, it deflects the bullet down. These are 500 Bresnell. They recommend that you never shoot at these closer than 15 yards. I'm going to shoot some frangible ammunition. I'm going to shoot from about 9 yards. These targets can take a real beating. I've got some plate racks from MGM that are 18 years old and it has the same original steel on it. So these are high quality. So I'm shooting frange ammunition. So let's go back to about 10 yards and do a V-drill with our Tavor. Okay guys, we're going to shoot steel targets, so safety is paramount. Eye protection for everybody, and make sure you have the right ammunition, you have the right grade of target. Very important, safety first. Got my frange ammunition and got our MGM targets. Let's go ahead and run it. Here we go. Yeah, pretty good, pretty good. Hey guys, that was a 3.41 hundredths of a second. What I did is you notice when I was coming back off of one of these right-hand targets, I shot a little bit early. What I did, I hesitated and I looked downrange. I was putting them so close together that I was actually drawing back to where I just was, and I came in a little bit sluggish on this one, and I shot right before I got to it. And then my second shot was on the paper, was on the steel. You notice the groups are really good. So I got to looking at my target. Once you do that, the whole thing falls apart. So give you some idea how you can get distracted in your work. So don't look at your targets, watch your sight. But anyway, that was a 341. I had one mic. If I'd have had a D zone, I'd have hit it, but I didn't. But anyway, we're going to move on to some other things. We've got our 2-liter bottles downrange, cheap diet drinks. You love to shoot them. We've got some Hornady 40 grain VMAX. This is doing about 38 to 3,700 feet a second. 40 grain projectile. It's made to expand and dump all its energy in a very small target. So it ought to look pretty good on these 2-liter bottles. So, matter of fact, I had bought this from Cheaper Than Dirt when they still had ammunition a couple of months ago. So I'm using up some of my private stash. Got our 40 grain VMAX. Got our targets. Here we go. Left to right. What I told you, man. Hornady ammunition, cheap diet drink doesn't stand a chance. As you can see, that horny. Cut that out. Okay, as you can see, this Hornady ammunition with that 40 grain VMAX did not penetrate these 2-liter bottles. if you look at these bottles, you see an entrance in the front, and that was it. It totally dumped all its energy. The bottles are completely flat with no exit holes. So that's total energy transfer, flattened out the bottles. It smells like a bunch of Skittles out here. Anyway, that's about perfect use of your energy right there. 40 grain bullet, doing about 3,800 feet a second. Okay, we're on the back range. We have our targets of opportunity. We have some cans of corn. We got one shaved cream in the middle. I've got that same Hornady 40 grain VMAX, and I'm thinking it's going to open these cans up pretty good. So let's go ahead and start with the target on the left. Can of corn on the left. Here we go. That was quite a can opener right there. I don't know where the can went, but they had corn come flying back around me here. So we got another can on the right. Our shaved cream left, but we'll shoot that other can on the right. Here we go. All right, guys, we got a couple of volunteer cans of shaved cream there. We'll start on the one on the left and go to the right. One on the left. Here we go. Ah, that's pretty exciting. Let's go ahead and bust that other one. No job too big or too small that a 40 grain VMAX can't take care of. So, one thing I didn't take into account, I sighted in at 50 yards. The center line of that barrel is a lot further down from the center line of the optic, so I was actually shooting a little low up close. I should have had some time to sight in at close range. I didn't. So I was actually hitting those cans of corn right on the bottom edge. So on that shaved cream, I realized where I was screwing up, and I aimed up over them a little bit, and I center punched them just right. So it's not actually shooting where you're looking at this range, so you have to hold over a little bit different than an AR platform. But what's tradition with us when we do these kind of shootings here is to look for the actual dispersion of the target. So I know when I shot that one can I was holding right, it kicked some way back over here. So we can take a look back this way. Now I see one piece of corn here. And I'm sure there's some more. And there's some over there on the right. So you're looking at a good 25 yards dispersion radii, so pretty good hit. There's another piece of corn. We'll go down and take a look at some of the cans here. As you can see, the shaved creams, it just couldn't take it. Here's a top of a piece of here's a top to one of the cans. Apparently it blew it clean off at the seams. So that was a pretty good hit. As you can see, it had a good dispersion of shaved cream here. There's another one. Kind of hit him just a hair to the side, but that's pretty interesting. That was a can of corn. You notice didn't really bust through the other side. Total dump of energy, just took the can to pieces. What can you say? A good performance. Okay, we got some more target of opportunity here. We've got some melon heads. I got the same 40 grain Hornady VMAX ammunition, factory rounds. Let's go ahead and pop that melon on the left and see what it looks like. Here we go, one on the left. As you can see, he did not like the 40 grain VMAX at all. Let's do the... That looks pretty good, pretty good. Target on the right. One on the right, here we go. As you can see, not all melons are created equal, but we did have good performance on both of them. Let's go ahead and unload, take a look at them. I don't know, you can't smell this, but it smells nothing like shaving cream and watermelon, so it looks pretty good, smells pretty good. Give you an idea what that watermelon looked like. Even the part that didn't totally disrupt and fly away is all traumatized. It's all smashed out, all the liquid's gone out of it. Same thing on this one. You can see it's just pulverized on the inside. So that 40 grain bullet is really dumping everything it's got right there in just a few inches. So no over penetration, good transfer of energy, and it threw pieces of watermelon rind back to where we were. There's some of it 25 yards away, so good dispersion radii here. So according to the ammo, good stuff. Hey guys, I took my Tavor and I put a vertical grip on it. This was made by Crimson Trace. It's got a built-in green laser and also a tack light. I've got the V-drill set up on steel targets. I got my frange ammunition, and we're going to run off the timer here. And let's go ahead and shoot a V-drill using the green laser and see what it looks like. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. That was our first run at night with that green laser on these white targets. I guess you could see that also. When that green comes onto that white, it's super bright. We got all the hits here. We got all the hits. I had one here on the outside that I didn't hit. One thing that distracted me when I was shooting the center target, waiting to go to the right, being I have a compensator on it instead of a flash hider, I had a lot of fire come out on the side. So when I was looking over here, it actually had a little bit of distraction. And when I indexed, I over-indexed, and it took me a little bit to come back to reality. So that's one time that a muzzle brake actually worked against me. If I'd have had the standard bird cage on it, I wouldn't have saw that shower of sparks come out of the muzzle. But other than that, it was pretty much a 3.55 from the first to the last shot, so it wasn't bad. But we're going to back up and we're going to try it again. Hey guys, this is pretty exciting right here. This is a 342 100ths of a second. I fired 18 rounds on these 5 targets. Give you an idea of what we did here, guys. They're all 10 shots are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You got a double here, you got a double there. You got a 2-foot right there, one big spot, and you got 2 on the left. That's about as good as it's going to get. That green laser is pretty stellar. All I had to do is just track it. That bullpup was working really good. As you can see, without any practice, that was second run. So we're right spot dead on it. 342 100ths of a second, guys. It don't get any better than that. Hey guys, we just got back from the range. I want to give you some feedback of what kind of adventure that was for me. That was the first time I've ever worked with a bullpup platform. So to me, being a driver, a shooter, I really want to get into it and see what it does. First thing I noticed was the trigger pull was kind of heavy, but it's nothing that you can't live with. It's very whippy on the barrel. You notice the transition drills were very snappy. Matter of fact, the first few times that I did it, I was overdriving. So, but the fact that everything is real close to your body like this is very easy to start and stop it. I can see it being very effective in close quarters. Of course, the compact size and also how fast it indexes from target to target. There's hardly any pendulum effect because the whole platform is so close to your body. When you do the transitions, it's very snappy. The trigger actually worked better than what I thought it was going to work. It's relatively heavy, but it's got a good pivot point, so if you use the bottom of the trigger and stay with it, it's almost like shooting a revolver, so I didn't find it to be any negative. I would like to have it lighter, of course. My competition AR has about a 2 3/4 pound trigger on it, so I'm pretty spoiled to that. But for what this thing is designed to do, that trigger is very compatible. It functioned 100%. I also noticed that it's very snappy. It's a very fast cycle time. It gets over with quick. It goes right back to target. Of course, that compensator on that short barrel really adds to the control there also. But I would think even without the compensator, it would be pretty effective. I'm just lazy, and this thing is makes it a whole lot more enjoyable. So overall impression was a good experience. Close quarters, in and out of vehicles, be hard to beat it. Very compact, very quick. The only downside I see, I think it would be good to about 200 yards. After that, it would lose out, I think, pretty rapidly to a full-size firearm. But that's not what it's designed for. It's designed for close, fast, compact situations, and I think they did a good job of designing it there. Of course, something else I want to show you guys. Give you an idea, we talked about the holdover from the sight to the bore. I'm sighted in at 50 yards, so at about 10 yards, it's about 12 yards. Point of aim, point of impact, it's about 3.5 inches difference. So one thing you want to realize when you're doing your drills or you're doing live fire, the holdover up close is going to be greater because the barrel is deeper in the receiver than it is from an AR platform. All in all, man, it's just a fun gun to drive, and what can you say? Just a good gun. Hey guys, I'd like to invite you to subscribe to Miculek.com. We've got the Beretta ARX coming in. We've got the Barrett 50 semi-automatic coming in also. We got a Desert Eagle 50 caliber coming. So I appreciate all your suggestion, all your input on what we're doing. So stay tuned, and we're gonna have some new stuff and some very exciting stuff.